Hey, it's Jen of Vegan Adventures of Jean and Jen. I tried to do a live, but our internet is terrible, and it does not want to let me do that. So I'm just going to get some stuff ready for my day and talk to you guys a little bit. I've already had my, what I call broccoli sweat. When I boil my broccoli, I boil it in a pan, and it's full. This pan is a 2-quart saucepan. I boil it in here. I fill up enough water, like, up high. This doesn't have cups on it, but whatever. It's probably maybe 3 or 4 cups of water I boil it in. And when I'm done boiling it, I pour it out into here. And it's full to like maybe here, about halfway. This thing is humongous, but I pour it into here. You can see it's all steamy. I don't know if you can see it on there, but I pour it into here. I let it cool off a little bit, and then I close it and put it in the fridge. And tomorrow, that is my broccoli sweat, because people were like, what do you drink in the morning? And that's what everybody calls it, is broccoli sweat. So my daughter calls it that. Most people, like I guess in the South, call it pot liquor. It's this just the water you have after you steam vegetables, and that's what I drink in the morning, because I eat between about 10 and 5 or like 11 to 6. I try to eat in about a 7-hour window. So I have that in the morning when I'm first getting hungry, and it's like I look at when I'm getting ready or whatever, and it helps me like just not start chowing first thing in the morning. Then I have you saw these yesterday on a couple of posts maybe. This is 1 English cucumber, an apple, and some snow peas. I usually have one of these. This is a pretty big container. These containers are 4.75 cups, so no joke right there. And then I have this one. It's got celery and carrots, and there's mustard in there and sweet chili sauce in there. And I showed them both and said I would probably eat them, but a lot of times I get too full, so I'll eat one or the other. But I have them ready, because sometimes, like, Gene will be like, we have to go somewhere, we have to go right this minute. He's like, come with me. And so I just grab whatever. This way, if I'm hungry, I won't be starving. I'll eat in the car, which I do all the time. To give you an idea how much broccoli I eat 2 of these every day. These are 24 ounces, which I think is 3 cups. And I happen to have 10 of these containers, and I can buy a 3-pound bag of broccoli at Wegmans that's already washed and cut up, and then a 2 pounds of Brussels sprouts. So between the 10 containers, I divide up. I don't do this, first of all, to measure my food and count calories. I do it so I know how many days of food I have, so I don't have to think about it. So when I fill all these 10 containers up, I know I have 5 days of broccoli and Brussels sprouts, and I'm good to go. There'll be 3 pounds in there and 1 pound out of the 2-pound bag of Brussels sprouts spread between those 5 containers. So that's how much of that I will have. I'll have 2 of these a day, and it looks like this. See, this stuff was already done, because I was trying to go live, and it was just not happening. My phone was like not picking up what I was trying to lay down there. So anyway, and I cut up my sweet potatoes already. Like I said, I was trying to make a video live, which is easier because I can answer questions and stuff, but I couldn't. My bags of potatoes look about like this right now. It is 15 pounds of sweet potatoes and 10 pounds of white potatoes divided between 13 gallon size bags. So the sweet potatoes are here on a regular size cookie sheet, and then I have these 2 white potatoes, which I was doing baked for a while, but I don't know, I'm sort of over the baked thing, which I can't even believe. So I usually do them kind of like Hannah did them. Hannah and Derek used to always do these. They made like these big potato wedges, and they set them on the rack. I put this in the oven, and I set these on the rack in a little row, and I seem to really like them. So I make these to go with, and they're really, really good. So that's what I do with the white potatoes. And then I just take cauliflower, and this is a 1.1 gallon container. I buy like 3 heads of cauliflower, 2 or 3 depending on how big they are, and I break them all up, because they make kind of a mess when you go to like separate cauliflower. It makes a mess. So I try to just do it once, then it's in here, I can just grab it. And what I do with the cauliflower is I just put it on, and I might have to break it up a little. Like if there's like this is kind of big, I just set it on top. And I find that the cauliflower doesn't scorch, and if you put it on top of the sweet potato fries, if it's on its own on the parchment paper, it tends to scorch, and I don't like the burnt cauliflower taste. I do like it toasted, and the moisture in the cauliflower keeps the sweet potato fries from burning. So it's just it happened by accident. We had a party and we'd had a big veggie tray, and I had leftover cauliflower, and I don't really like it boiled. Like, I grew up eating it that way, and the only thing you could do with it was cover it in butter and salt to make it taste like anything, so obviously I don't want to do that. So I hadn't been eating much of it, or I like to dip it in hummus, which is, like, not my friend. Hummus is not my friend. I don't keep hummus in the house. I don't, because I can eat, like, a container this big of hummus. I don't have that filter that says, oh, that's too rich. Wow, I'm so full. I don't have that filter. So I don't do that. And I don't measure out my cauliflower because it's a non-starchy vegetable, and when I do it this way, it reminds me, Jean doesn't quite see it this way, but it reminds me of, like, bar food, like when you would order deep fried food. Plus, I've been gluten-free for like 10 years, so I can't eat deep fried food. It kind of helps me because I don't have the temptation there, because I will get really, really sick if I eat that. So I don't eat that kind of stuff. But you could see, even being gluten-free and vegan, it didn't matter. I still was unhealthy. So anyways, I just break this up on top, and then it's ready to go in the oven next to the white potato wedges, and that's the starch that I have for the day. And like I said, I'm doing 13 bags right now. I have one more. I do each one for 2 cycles. So on Tuesday I'll go buy potatoes, and then I'll have 13 more days of potatoes all set to go, and I won't have to think about that. That's really why I do it. Not so much like you're only allowed to have this much potatoes. It's more because I just know I can go in there and I can go Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Awesome. I have 4 more days. I don't have to think about what I'm going to eat. Because if I don't, I'll make a huge bowl of rice, or I'll overeat something else. So this way I have my starch. And if like when we were traveling, I did not have any more potatoes with me, I had my rice cooker though. I made, at the time, I don't remember, I think it was like, I was still eating like 800 calories of potatoes a day. I made 800 calories of rice, and I had all my non-starchy vegetables, and it was perfect because it was a finite amount. So that's what I did. And for me, this is like 730 calories of potatoes. Everything else I eat is a non-starchy vegetable, and it works out great. I am not hungry. We went out to dinner last night. I had a salad. I was already full when we got there, so I didn't have to worry. And I really enjoyed the food. I really enjoyed the company. I didn't care about the food. And usually, people go out, oh, the food. I don't care about that anymore. I really care about the company and talking and catching up with everybody instead of like, oh God, we're here to eat, let's eat. Food is such a big experience for people. So I don't know. But the question I was going to answer was, people were talking about, what do I do when I've got a big family, and or I've got kids. My husband won't eat this way. My husband is a bodybuilder. He does not eat the way that I eat. He would weigh 50 pounds. I mean, he's a big guy, and he eats whatever he wants, and he has to struggle to keep weight on. So you can send all hate mail directly this way, because that is his ordeal. He has to struggle to keep weight on. He's one of those people. He has to focus on eating. I don't have to do that. I'm like, I could switch with you, and it would be super awesome. But it doesn't work like that. He can eat whatever he wants. So he prefers to eat healthy though, because it does bother his stomach when he doesn't, and he just prefers to have a healthier diet, because obviously he doesn't want to be unhealthy. So I'm just gonna throw these. I have a little extra room on this tray today. I'm gonna throw these white potatoes on here because I don't know. I'm standing here talking to you guys, so why not? It's easier than trying, like burning your hand on the rack. When you try to like stick your hand and then grab them. But they were saying, what do you do? Well, what I do is get all my stuff ready every day, no matter what, and I don't care what anybody else is doing. And that sounds kind of cold and sort of mean, but you know what? If you don't take care of you, you really can't take care of anyone else. And people say that, but nobody listens. If you're angry and unhealthy and grumpy and frustrated and not where you want to be, you're not really much use to anybody. So I get all my own food ready, and then I make other food for Gene. He eats for breakfast. He eats these huge breakfasts, English muffins, bagels, yes, at the same time. A huge bowl of peas and corn, a huge bowl of fruit, waffles, fake bacon. I don't eat any of that stuff. But that's what he eats. And you know what? I know my food is coming. My food is already ready. When my food is already ready and I know what I'm going to eat, I don't pick at his food. So make tons of non-starchy veggies for side dishes. Grill asparagus, grill squash and summer squash and zucchini, grill eggplant. At this time of year, I mean, I don't know, it depends on where you live, what's in season, but find all the in-season non-starchy vegetables, make huge salads, take those big beefsteak tomatoes and drizzle balsamic vinegar on them, do all different stuff so that there's a million side dishes that you can eat if you want them. and then make sure that you have your allotted amount of starch and move on. Like, life is not about food. And I know from my Instagram, you see the food that I put out there at the time. It's the same stuff all the time, because that's not what your life is about. Food is nice, and it keeps us going, and it makes us healthy, but food is not an experience. Like, I think Andrew Taylor was saying that your life should be an experience. So you got to make sure you take care of yourself. Take care of yourself. Make sure that you have all the things you need to take care of you, and then worry about what everybody else is eating. And furthermore, nobody said, like, I'm sorry, your children do not have a right to Pop-Tarts. They don't. And I don't care if they're not fat. It doesn't matter. You're the adult. What comes into your house is generally you are the one bringing it in there. And if you're the one eating it, like, I used to buy tortilla chips all the time because, the kids will eat them. The kids never ate them. I ate them. I would drink wine and eat tortilla chips. The kids never ate them. Jean never ate them. So you got to be kind of real with yourself. And if there's stuff in the house that the kids are eating or your husband is eating, but usually you end up eating it later or when you know you really aren't hungry, maybe that's stuff that you just phase right out. You just don't buy it anymore. And you know what? If you have kids that are teenagers, they have all the right in the world. They can ride their bike, walk, whatever, to the store. They can get a bag of chips and eat it. And you don't have to buy it. You don't have to have it in your house. It isn't about that. Like, they can do whatever they want, but you got to take care of you before you can take care of anybody else. So get your eating under control, get your eating in order. And like I said, if you have questions about like how much potatoes I eat, I don't think that people should eat just like all potatoes and eat nothing else. I think you can do that, but I don't see much point in it. It makes your life very difficult. How do you socialize? How do you go out? A lot of places don't have baked potatoes in the daytime, so where are you? What are you going to do? It's inconvenient. So to me, the non-starchy veggies also, I think, help your weight loss a lot more than just plain potatoes. I can't eat just plain white potatoes. My digestion is terrible when I do that. I have to eat sweet potatoes and white. I eat both, and I eat a ton of non-starchy vegetables. So all I can say is make a plan to take care of yourself, and it might be a little bit at a time. You might not be able to go into the kitchen and start whipping everything into the garbage. That would be my preferred method, but people don't always like that, and you might be met with some resistance. So quietly go about your way of taking care of yourself. Don't start screaming, everything in this house is junk, I'm not keeping this here, I can't have this here. You might be thinking it, but just move it out of your realm of where you need to eat and the things you need to have, and let them finish up whatever crap is in the house, and just don't buy it anymore. Like, let's say you like Cheez-Its or pretzels with fake vegan blue cheese, and you want to dip them in there. Like, don't keep that stuff in the house. Like, gluten-free pretzels you will not see in this house, because I don't even eat processed food, but if they're here, I will find a reason to eat them. So try to clean up your environment. Make a plan. What are you going to do? I started out dividing those 15 pounds of sweet potatoes and 10 pounds of white potatoes into 10 bags, which was like 950 calories of starch a day. And every 2 times I go through a cycle of all of the bags, I have gone down, or actually up, 1 more bag. So I started out with 10 bags, then 11, then 12, then 13. So Tuesday will be my second cycle of 13. Then I'll do 2 cycles of 14 bags, and then 15 bags, and I'm going to keep it there because it's about 600 and something calories of starch a day. And then I can add in all the non-starchies I want and some extra fruit, because I always have my nice cream at night. So fruit is less calorie dense than potatoes. So I think that that's still a good alternative to, vegan junk food. And the other thing, which I talked about, which nobody wants to hear, and neither did I, was that if you have like a wine at night habit, you may want to really examine that, because that is going to hurt you in a really bad way. So that's a couple of the questions people ask me. I have like 30 questions, and that's why I wanted to go live and try to answer some, because it would have been so much faster and so much easier, and it takes forever to upload videos, at least right now, but hopefully our internet will be fixed and that will all change. So again, hi to all my new subscribers. What you'll find is just me here, Jean sometimes, and like I am, what you see is what you get. How about that? Like well, you'll hear, I always say, if you like these videos, like and subscribe. If you don't like them, I don't care. I mean that. I'm more than happy to answer questions and help you any way I can, but if you just want to like a bitch and say you don't like me, go ahead. It actually amuses me, so have at it. But that's all I can tell you right now. I will talk to you later, and that's it. Bye.